The revelations in the 10th November Delhi Red Fort blast case probe is now unraveling one of the most sophisticated radicalization networks seen in recent years here in India. Investigators say the entire module of doctors turned terrorists was radicalized through encrypted telegram groups and guided remotely by Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed handlers. Now it all began with two online groups, Farzanadan-e-Darul Ulum Deoband and Umar bin Khattab, both reportedly operated from across the borders. These channels served as virtual indoctrination grounds where religious and ideological messages gradually drew in educated Indian professionals. Dr. Umar Nabi, the bomber who died in the I-20 explosion near Red Fort, is believed to be the first to fall into the trap as per the initial reports. After being expelled from a hospital in Anantnag, Umar was drawn to these online groups. He came in contact with the radical cleric Imam Irfan Ahmed Waga, a man who investigators say played a central role in converting doctors into foot soldiers. The turning point came during a trip to Turkey, where Umar reportedly met handlers linked to Jaish-e-Mohammed. Once back in India, Umar joined Al Falah Medical College in Faridabad and began recruiting like-minded professionals. That's where he found Dr. Muzammil Shakil and Dr. Adil Rada, both young, educated doctors who investigators say began with religious debates online only to be systematically brainwashed into supporting violent jihad. Encrypted applications and secret chats became their tools of coordination. After every meeting, they deleted call logs and messages to cover their tracks. Eventually, they began procuring chemicals and components used in explosives. But the network extended beyond Faridabad. In Lucknow, Dr. Shaheen Shahid and her brother Dr. Parvez Saeed were self-radicalized through the same ecosystem of online propaganda. Officials say they were not in touch with Pakistani handlers directly, but were deeply influenced by extremist content. Shaheen's car was later used to move arms and ammunition. Her arrest gave agencies the first concrete link to the larger module. Her brother Parvez's laptop and phone were seized from his residence and are now being forensically examined for digital footprints. As per the investigation so far, the evidence points toward Imam Irfan Waga as the mastermind behind their ideological shift. Waga is a former imam and a paramedical worker. He used his religious position to lure medical professionals toward radical ideologies. He was in fact arrested a day after the Red Fort blast, following intelligence inputs from Kashmir's counter-intelligence wing. His wife too is under investigation for helping recruit young doctors and women into the network. Investigators now believe that this module was not just a cell but a growing ecosystem, one where professional circles were systematically exploited for radicalization. DNA evidence, mobile tower data and digital forensics have already linked Umar's remains to the I-20 car that exploded outside the Red Fort. The puzzle is now complete. From radicalization to recruitment to execution, a chain of educated extremists driven by ideology, connected through encrypted platforms and caught through meticulous forensic work. My colleague Nivriti Mohan is joining us live from outside Al Falah University. Nivriti, please walk us through the latest that you have picked up through your sources. You are at a very crucial location, the epicenter, from where now the diaries have also been collected from room number 4 and 13.
Right, exactly. This Al Falah University is the place where the entire conspiracy was being prepared, was being made, and which failed actually because the intelligence agencies, India's intelligence network did not allow them to go as they had planned, which had actually which resulted in lesser losses of lives and property. So outside Al Falah University, you can see we were looking for the investigation agencies to arrive out here, but they haven't arrived today as of now. But yesterday we could see investigation agencies from Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and the NIA coming in here, and we are hearing that people were questioned inside. All the doctors were also questioned, other employees were questioned, and evidences were collected from inside. There are reports of some detentions also, and as you are also telling us that diaries were recovered from inside, which will be a crucial evidence to know how the network exactly planned to work from this university, and were other people also involved. These diaries may definitely reveal all those things, but prior to that also the phones were also confiscated from inside, which reportedly had numbers from across the border, and these numbers were from which they were getting calls. The numbers were said to be from Pakistan. They were in touch with their handlers as far as reports are coming in, and the plan was to reportedly to do it on 12th of November, which failed because investigation in agencies cracked on them, and there were raids in at least in Faridabad here. Near the Al Falah University, 2 locations were raided, which belonged to Dr. Muzammil, and from here, it was the main area where the explosive worth 3,000 kgs was confiscated, and we had yesterday reported from both the locations, and we could see that the areas where this entire explosive was hidden was at a place which was very underdeveloped, a village kind of a thing, a village. It was in a village, in a small room, in a 6 by 5 room. It was that smaller room which was occupied by other people also, and we spoke to a lady also who was living there, and she told that she was living there with her son and her daughter-in-law, and they were not aware of what was going on inside. But when we went inside the accommodation, we could see that all the rooms were interconnected from inside, which also raises a question, and maybe that family might be questioned in future by
Okay.
the investigation agencies. And as far as Dr. Omar is concerned, you are aware that before this blast happened, he was roaming around in the city in crowded places, and Dr. Shaheen, the women, there are reports that she was recruited through Jamaatul
All right.
Mu'minat, the women wing of Jaish-e-Mohammed, which
Right.
a month ago we had reported that they were recruiting women. So this is all what is happening, and we are hearing that the university may come up with a press conference, not confirmed though, but we are waiting for them to do a press conference. They may come up with their side of the story.
Okay.
As of now, yesterday they had given a statement in the written format where they had given their side that they were not involved in it.